Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to finish the part of the unit about the endocrine system, and we are going to talk about illnesses, disorders that are caused by a bad function, a dysfunction of the endocrine system. Okay, usually if you have a problem with the endocrine system, it's because there is a hormone that is not being secreted in a proper way or in a balanced number. So in fact, problems with the endocrine system are going to be basically two in general. Hyperfunction, you have too low number of hormones, so that hormone is not going to do its function, and we will put some examples now. And the hyperfunction, you have too much of a hormone, so it's doing too much, it's working too much, and is doing too much of its function. Okay, so the first disease that we are going to study is diabetes mellitus, diabetes. Okay, diabetes, if you remember, the most important hormones in this illness are insulin and glucagon. Okay, insulin is the hormone that is going to remove sugar from the blood and is going to take it inside the cell. Okay, glucagon was the other hormone, and it's the opposite function. It's going to take the sugar, the glucose from the cell, and it's going to put it in your blood, right? In your blood vessels, of course. So there are two types of diabetes. Type 1, that is deficiency on insulin production. Your pancreas, which is the gland that produces insulin and glucagon, as you know now, is not producing enough. So if you don't have enough insulin, the cell is not able to take the insulin from the bloodstream. So you have too much sugar in the bloodstream, and that is going to give many problems. Okay, this affects more younger people, usually genetic disease. Okay, and type 2 is going to be a different way. Your pancreas is producing the insulin in a normal amount, but the cells are unable to receive that hormone and to remove again the sugar from the blood. Right? That is a common disease in older people. Younger people, they don't have this type of diseases. Usually this disease is quite related to the way that we eat. Too much sugar is not very good. Okay, so here you don't produce insulin, but the insulin is not produced by the pancreas. And here you do have insulin, but it's not going to work. No, the cells is not able to receive this insulin, and is not going to remove sugar from blood. Both types, what type of affections they can have? You can have bigger infections. It can affect cardiovascular system. For example, if you have too much sugar in your bloodstream, it's easier for that happens, that you have too much, there is not enough circulation, and that you have to cut, for example, fingers or even arms or legs. No, usually fingers if you are under medical control, but it's something that is it happens quite often with this type of illnesses. Retina, for example, desprendimientos de retina, they have affection if you have high levels of sugar. No, that these things that I have just told usually happen with an hyperglycemia, una hiperglucemia. That is too much sugar in the bloodstream. Right? Hypoglycemia, hypoglycemia would be that there is not enough sugar, and that means that you don't have energy, you can faint, or even worse things. Okay, but so this is diabetes mellitus. Hyperthyroidism, thyroid, no? The gland that we studied the previous day is a gland that was going to secrete la T3, yes, T3 and T4, and the function of these hormones is to regulate the metabolism of the whole body. So if you have hyperthyroidism, your metabolism is running a lot. So you're going to lose weight because you're using all the substances, the nutrients that they are inside your body, and you're going to burn them very fast, no, due to the catabolism. So you're getting thinner, you're more nervous, you're more anxious, you can have insomnia. So that is hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism, as you know, hypo means low secretion of the hormones. So in hyper we have too much of the hormone, and hypo means that we have not very much. So what happens, for example, it's easier for a person that has hypothyroidism, for example me, to gain weight, yeah? For example, the things that can happen is that you feel really tired because you don't get enough energy. You can have nail problems, the nails are more breakable, things like that, general symptoms, okay? Nothing that cannot be controlled by a little pill of iodine. So I'm perfectly fine, I'm perfectly healthy, but I do have this. And another type of illness that is due to the growth hormone is going to be dwarfism and gigantism, enanismo y gigantismo. Okay, dwarfism, you have too low production of the growth hormone during your ages of growing. And gigantism is the opposite, too much growth hormone, so you look like a giant, okay? Good. So basically these are the diseases that we are going to study of the endocrine systems. There are plenty of more diseases, but I think that these are quite common and it's good that you know them. Then healthy habits to take care of our endocrine system and not to damage their functions. It's essential to have a balanced diet. Okay, if you don't have a balanced diet, now that you are 15 or 14, but when you get older and you eat, for example, too much sugar, you can have a diabetes type 2, okay? So you can prevent this diabetes to appear if you have a balanced diet. So it's important. For example, hypothyroidism has to do a lot with an ion that is iodine. So if you don't have enough of this ion, your thyroid is not going to work. So it's good to have iodine, sal iodada, no? Iodine salt. If you use salt, make sure that is iodine salt. It's a good one. Then it's very important to do some exercise, okay? Because exercise is always going to complete the balanced diet, and you're going to use the excess of energy that, for example, you have eaten, no? So it's important, the exercises. And of course, I don't have to tell you, but because you know, of course, taking drugs is going to be really, really bad for your endocrine system. Also, we studied it it's going to be very bad for the nervous system. In fact, it's not going to be good at all to your system, okay? So basically this is what I wanted you to know for today. I hope it is clear, maybe too much information for a blackboard, but that's about it. So thank you very much, and please, if you have any question, ask. Okay? Bye-bye.